What's up YouTube? My name is Uncle Smokey, and this is Uncle Smokey Stock Trades. And before I start this video, I would like to say, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. So please take what I say with a grain of salt, and do your own DD. Today we're going to talk about ticker symbol MMAT, Metamaterials Inc. We're going to break down the TA, we're going to look at the options chain, we're going to go through both Ortex and Fintel, we got a little bit of Twitter information, not really news I guess, maybe a guess a little bit, and then my prediction and we're out of here. We're going to try and make this as fast as possible. So let's crack right into it. Today we opened up the day at $3.88. We had a high of $3.94. We had a low of $3.68 and closed the day out at $3.76, down about 2.84% on the day. And that's on about 5.9 million in volume. And in all honesty, not as bad as I thought we were going to get. So we did start out the day with a slight head and shoulders pattern. As you can see right here, I do have that drawn up. And a head and shoulders pattern is, depending on which direction it is, this being a normal one, is kind of a bearish sign, which means you're going to have a little bit of a pullback. So it's a rise, a drop, a rise higher, a drop, a little higher than the previous drop, a rise a little lower than the first one, and then it'll fall off. And that's your basic head and shoulders pattern. Now, the good news is it did come all the way down here to about $3 and close to 70 cents, where it did make a nice little George W. Now, keep this in mind, guys. This is the 1 minute chart, so this is almost irrelevant. This is within a couple of minutes span. But it did lift. It took off a little bit, bringing us back up here to 375, where we did consolidate for a very short amount of time. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to gain some momentum and to push it forward. We did trade for a short amount of time over the 50 MA, but again, shorts did take over a little bit there. And I'm going to tell you, this here, there was some shorting, but I'll be willing to bet there was probably some stop losses involved. Remember, every day we do pick up new investors. And not all of these new investors understand what they hold. They don't know what they've got. So they'll set stop losses and things to prevent themselves from losing any more. Like I did say yesterday, I'm seeing a slight trend reversal in the very near future. Other people are probably seeing that same exact thing, since we did just go oversold. And we really haven't been oversold in a long time. So with that being said, let's carry on back to what I was talking about. So over in here, we had some slight shorting, and again, probably some selling. There's paper hands out there. I can't help that. We're diamond hand apes, and we know what we hold. But not everybody's like us. 368 was a low point where we did bounce and start taking off a little bit and consolidate basically through the rest of the day. Now, 368, I'm going to call this a catch at 370 with the slight breakdown below it. I always talk about how things have to slow down, the catcher's mitt theory. Well, you've kind of got that right here. It caught it, bounced, and then boom. So think about it when you're catching a ball. When the ball comes down, your catcher's mitt, it comes down if you're catching it this way, and it drops lower and then bounces back up. That's kind of what you had right there. Same thing happens all the time, like right here at the VWAP. It'll do a fake out breakout, boom, and then back down. Very similar situation. Okay, so we're going to move on past the 1 minute chart. Like I said, this was basic consolidation through the rest of the day, kind of in an upward channel, kind of trending up right there. Move over to the 1 hour. Hang on. First, did I miss anything down there? Nope. 1 hour. All right, so on the 1 hour, I want to show you something kind of important. This will also show up on the 1 day chart as well, and that is this descending channel we're in. Now, it takes 3 touches to make a trend line, and we are able to do that here, and we've been able to do it for a couple of days, but I'm just showing you today that we do have a descending wedge. It is not converging as tight as I'd like to see it converge, but it is still a wedge nonetheless, meaning that it is narrowing out at a point. Now, does this mean that we're signaling an absolute reversal? No. However, descending wedges are reversal patterns. And as you can see, we've just recently tapped off of that wedge base right here, all right? And we're making a lift. So again, I drew my 3 tests here, come off of a common point down here, dropping it through, and you'll see it better on the 1 day chart. In fact, let's just do that. Boom. There's your touch, okay? So yeah, that's what we've got right now. Double tap on that. I think we might see a little bit of a reversal. Go back to this one. Also, you'll notice that right here at the same point in time, you had an oversell in the RSI. We were oversold in the RSI basically from open. And we didn't finally pop up above it until we started trending up again. So, and we're still not above it. We're still kind of oversold. And this is in the 1 hour chart. But, we started trending back up and it shows it right there. Again, showing oversold right there. Red candle at the end. And we're moving upwards. So 1 hour chart showing slight reversal. Doesn't mean a trend reversal. Just means that this stock reversed overall in the day. Let's move to the 1 day chart. Oh, hang on. I missed it again. Jeez. MACD. So we did have the cross back here again, showing that we're moving in an upward channel again. Histogram starting to show green bars. I'm going to have to make it bigger to really see them because they're small. There it is. Okay, so histogram is making green bars. So again, showing movement in the opposite direction. Happy days. All right, I'm done with that one. I'm not going back to it. One last time, just for good measure. Okay, all right, now we're done with that one. Okay, so 1 day chart showing a lot of the same exact things. Right now, we're currently sitting oversold in the RSI. And in case anybody doesn't know, quick lesson on the RSI. RSI is not a measurement of strength. It's a measurement of momentum. Momentum. All right, basically telling you what, how the stock is moving, what direction it's moving at, and the pace it's moving at over a short period of time. Mine is 14 points. So on the 1 day chart, which is standard is 14. Don't try moving it around. If you were to go into Webull, Robinhood, really any of them, TOS, I'm pretty sure when you hit RSI, it immediately selects the 14-point period. So if you're on the 1 day chart, that means it's charting over the course of the last 14 days. What is its relative strength index or its momentum? It's moving momentum. All right. Boo. There's a lesson. Anyhow, okay, so we are slightly oversold in the RSI. And again, like I said, we did make a tap off of this trend line that I've got drawn up here. We got a couple of taps. There's 1, 2, and 3, and then 1, 2, and 3. And again, that's all it takes to make a trend line. So what we're ultimately looking for is for buyers to step in, seeing that this is a very, very good buying opportunity with the RSI being as low as it is. Now, with that being said, if you look at the MACD isn't as quite as inviting. It is hooking down and the signal line is hooking down. Ultimately, we need these to start hooking up, and that's only going to happen with a little bit of buying volume. So that's what we're looking for. Money. Money needs to step in. And that's always the case. Now, with that being said, I want to go ahead and take a look at the indices. So today was a little bit of a crazy day. Right here. Major, major drop on the SPY. On the NASDAQ. Not so much on the Dow. Dow kind of held steady all day. And then the Qs, yeah, not too terrible, but it did have some of a drop, which kind of don't worry about that one. But yeah, everything took a pretty big dip today again, like it did yesterday. So a lot of stuff did rebound on the day, and that's great. But all of the small cap stocks, as far as I can tell, were pretty much red. Now, what's really insane is a lot of your large cap stocks are kind of overpriced right now. My opinion. Anyhow, FinViz. Okay, so also, the other thing you want to look at, when you're looking at it overall, why were we red? The entire sector was red. Everybody was red, except for Micron Technologies and Marvel Technology. Even these stocks, Microsoft was down, Adobe was down, Oracle was down, Tesla was down big today. Consumer internet retail, most of it was down. Google and Facebook down. All of this whole entire communication service is down. So again, tech stocks have been suffering these last couple of days, and I don't really understand why. Technology, EV, green energy, all of those things are being pushed by the government in the infrastructure bill. and they're being pushed just by modern day, by people. So I'm not understanding how these specific sectors can be down when they're so desired, when they're so needed. The only thing I can come up with is supply chain issues, but that still doesn't make sense on Google and on Facebook and all of those. But I can understand on like EV sector and things like that, and this and the technology sector. I get that, but I don't know. It can be frustrating at times, guys, and believe me, I got a red portfolio too. So all of you guys that are suffering, that you feel like you're holding bags, Smokey's holding with you guys. All right, moving on. Ortex. So I was able to get a very brief morning briefing out this morning. Tomorrow it should be a little bit easier. The day before Thanksgiving at my store is generally absolutely slow. Everybody else has got better things to do, like go and see family. So it does look like they did increase a little bit today, up 3.9% on the short interest. The total utilization as of this morning was 85%. Cost bar was 2.68%. Days to cover of all the shares on loan was 2.23 days, and the shares on loan is currently sitting at 32.48 million shares, which is 23.23% of the free float. And all of this information is delayed by T2. And that's not always necessarily true. Sometimes this updates on a everyday basis every now and then. And I just think that's on Ortex and how fast stuff gets reported to them. So how much hinky stuff was done the day before. Also, let's bring this up real quick. The current average number of days on loan is 21.89 days, updated as of yesterday, it looks like. And the current estimated short interest, this is estimated. This will change when this changes. It could go up, it could go down. Nobody knows until that happens. Is 19.11 million, which means they did increase their short interest today. This is live, absolute live data. And the estimated current short interest of the free float is 13.67%. Today they did borrow 2.35 million shares and returned 1 million shares. So what? They returned a few shares. Doesn't mean they were short shares. We've talked about this many times over. If you compare how many shares they have on loan to how many shares they actually have reported as far as short interest goes, there's a 12.5 million difference. They can return shares as much as they want right now, and it doesn't even pull off their short shares. It just doesn't. Now, I'm not saying that it's not. Of course, we know that it does. They will return some here and there, but your really long positions are probably still holding on. And we'll know here in the next couple of days once they finally update all of this. Did they update it? No, we're still got some time. All right, Fintel. All right, so here we are at Fintel. Looks like 72.04 out of 100 as far as it goes with the short squeeze score. That is 521 out of 5,500 stocks. And again, kind of irrelevant to me. It squeezes when it squeezes if it squeezes. And I don't think that's really going to happen until we start hearing divvy. Oh, hang on. We're in the middle of the video, almost at the end. I want to touch on something real quick because I'm touching it. All right, guys. So my wife is extremely creative. She's a very, 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 very smart and creative person. And that's one of the things I love the most about her. And she is as supportive as a wife can be when it comes right down to it. And she supports me in this channel. And she wants it to grow just as much as I do. And she is currently making merch for a merch store. I'm currently working on a membership. I'm going to make it as inexpensive as I can. And it's going to have the ability to chat with me, chat with other people, get early access to videos, things like that. And the other thing it's going to have is a link to a merchandise store. And this is one of the things that she is currently working on. Of course, we've already seen a bunch of my shirts, and the only shirts that I'll be selling are anything that says Uncle Smokey on it, and only directly towards my channel. Nothing that goes towards any type of stocks, including Meta. So this is a keychain she's working on. Of course, that's my watermark, my logo that I have. And then on the other side of this one would be another version of the keychain, which it's a little bit bad. This is just a prototype, I guess you could call it. It says Uncle Smoky stock trades on the outer edge, and that's got a holographic leaf on the inside there. So this will be one of the items that will be available on my merch store when that does come around. Something like this, you're probably looking at like between $5 and $10, I would guess. I really don't know for sure until I actually dig into all that. Another thing that you might see similar to that would be something like this. And I've showed you guys this before. This is my big diamond for my diamond hand ape. And I know this would be a little bit more pricey because there's a lot of work involved in that. But yeah, that's kind of the stuff we're going to be tossing on the merch store. Like I said, it'll be apparel, it'll be stuff like that, ashtrays, cup holders, a lot of epoxy art, coffee mugs, things like that. It'll be cool. Anyhow, back to the video. Little plug for the merch store. Short shares available. We currently show 1 million shares available to be lent out from a leading prime brokerage, and y'all know who I think that is. And again, it's kind of irrelevant. We use this as a gauge. We don't know if this is absolutely necessary. Same with Vortex. We don't know if that's absolutely real. We can't tell anything because this is all just what is reported to these people. Now, with that being said, Fintel has been on a massive update lately. They have been changing their website left and right. And it's getting harder and harder for me to use it. I'm trying to take the time out to learn it a little bit. But as they grow, I need to grow, right? Right. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm doing my best with it. You're going to notice there's a lot of new tabs in here, and I'm going to try and start touching on them little by little. Current short borrow fee rate's 1.65%. It's gone down according to them, but again, it's a gauge. Currently, you know what? I didn't do this yet. Let's hit refresh. Ah, great. Hey, and I was right. Look, 63 for yesterday overall. So, FINRA data is the dark pool, and that usually makes up about half of the volume, and that's no exception today. And there was a little over half of that volume was shorted, which again, if you go in with all of these other exchanges here, brings you to about 55.81%. There's still a few other exchanges on top of this. They don't make up a whole lot of volume, but it's volume nonetheless. And if you were to add all of those in here, this would increase it a little bit more, I'm sure. There is shorting across all of the exchanges. All right, so we've taken care of all of those major things. I think the next thing we need to look at would be Twitter. All right, so I tossed one out there earlier today. Here is an awesome article showing recent institutional buy-ins in Mmat Material Inc., also giving us more institutional ownership percent, about 35% at the end of blah, 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 blah. All right, let's just click on it. There it is. So basically they're saying at the end of Q2, this was reported to, and this is as of today, by the way, guys, this was posted today. And it was showing that a few really big companies, really big investors jumped in on the metamaterials trade. One of which, of course, as you can see right up here at the top, was Nuven Asset Management. But look down here. Victory Capital Management bought a new stake, approximately $78,000. Vanguard bought a new stake, $23.5 million. And Cube Research and Technologies bought some at $1.159 million. Also, let's not forget about these guys right up here, Anson Funds, about $23.5 million, pretty close to what Vanguard did. So we've got a lot of big, smart money that has recently stepped into the stock, and we know that they did. We've been looking at Fintel like crazy. We've been seeing these guys stepping in. But when you see articles pointing out that they have stepped in, that's great. That's bullish. That's other people going to see this. Also, another reason why I feel that we can be seeing a reversal on our hands. Big, smart money has stepped into the stock in the past, and now it's being reported on. This isn't the only article out there stressing it. I'm sure of it. All right, that covers all of that. We might actually be able to make this a slightly short video. Let's go on over to... Oh, wait, we didn't do the options chain. I'm sorry. Options chain at the end. Here we go. 7,000 calls, 1,300 puts, 8,277 contracts traded in total, buys and sells, by the way. And the IV dropped down just a little bit more to 126.33. Again, as the IV does come down, usually I would say this would be inviting for investors, but they're also seeing the stock price come down to lows. Now, these aren't all-time lows, but they are lows. And we still haven't hit a critical level of support yet. 370 today, however, I will say, did show up pretty strong. Looks like we tapped that a few times. So I think we can definitely add that as a beautiful level of support. And that's in my opinion. Again, I do know we've hit that in the past, long before we were Meta, but I don't want to utilize those numbers. That was Torchlight stuff. We merged. It's not the same thing anymore. You can basically see where the charts broke off and started anew. So yeah, that's how I look at that. I go off of the data I have from Meta start till now, and recently these prices haven't been support and resistance. We've been blowing through some of these. Well, I shouldn't say we've been blowing through them. Going back to the chart for a second. I'm good for this, guys. Just V lining off. Here we go. So look at this. This is just a big green monster, green crayon candle. And it's tasty looking at best, but we showed resistance, not support before that. This was all resistance back here. So that's why I'm calling it now new support. Just me calling it support. Take it for what you will. You call it what you want, though. Okay. Back to what we were doing. We got to go to our prediction now. Yeah, because the options chain, that was over. You're in a new options month, a new expirations month. You have some time. Theta starts kicking in about 2 weeks. I mean, really kicking in about 2 weeks before they expire, and they expire this time on the 17th. So again, you've got some time. Not a whole lot though. Get moving. Chart. Okay. So we need to go to the 5-minute chart. Not there yet. Sorry. Taking up a lot of time. Trying to go no edit today. It seems to be a little bit faster when I do that. Maybe not on the video, but on me. Okay, here we are at the chart. So, these are those channels I drew up, and it'd be great if we get inside here and trade up to the top of this channel, even though these are kind of irrelevant on the 1-minute chart, just to be dead honest with you. You know, this is more of a longer time frame thing. However, it's kind of playing into our favor. So, providing we trade through the day and open up basically where we close, which is right here at this number here. Sorry, my phone's going crazy. Have to throw it somewhere. And we open up right in this range right here. You can expect to see us, if we go bear, come down to, zoom in more. Where are we at? Sorry, guys, not ready. 375 is where we're at here. All right, so if we go bear, a 370 tap again. If we break through that, if it doesn't catch it all the way, I would expect 365 to show up and be our stop. Now, it doesn't mean it will be, because I've also called out 360 being our very next level. I go by the 5s and 10s, and I've been doing that since I have been running stocks years ago. 5s and 10s are your critical levels. Yes, you can call the pennies on the dot. I know Sterling does that. He's great with that. It's nailed his line many a times over. I've tossed a couple of to the pennies in there, but it's just not me. I like to stick with the nickels and dimes. It just seems to be easier on me. So, I think 360 could be the very final catch. If it does catch there, I would expect a pretty good bounce, bring it right back up into this channel. And again, I'm utilizing it just because it happens to be in this mark. Also meaning that it's closing in on itself too, by the way. So if we can get back up in here, I would expect for us to trade sideways right here in this level between 365 and 370. And that is on a bear day. Now, I'm really hoping we see that trend reversal tomorrow. It's the day before Thanksgiving. Let's see what happens. Now, it doesn't mean that the market's going to go crazy. It absolutely doesn't. You got a long weekend ahead of you. They're only going to trade a short day on Friday, so that's why I say it's a long weekend. It's off Thursday, short day Friday, and then you got Saturday, Sunday. So anyhow, we go bear, bouncing directly off of $3.70. We're still going to have a dip. Come down to 370, bouncing directly off of that, pushing past 375, right towards $3.85. I think that'll be a slight technical level of resistance, pushing back down towards 380, and then launching back through it. That second to third test of $3.85 could be a really good push to $3.95. $3.95 has been showing up as a break. We can't get past it, really. When we do, it's like a fake out breakout. So if we can get through that and trade above it to $4, that would be fantastic. Trading in this channel would be great through the end of the day. Now, if we can get some serious buying volume to step in, and I say this every single day, and we need it. We need buying volume, smart money, investors, big ass whales need to come in. I can easily see us push all the way back to $4.20 on a good day. And again, it's the day before a holiday. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm crossing my fingers for a bull day. All day. That's what I want. But it is what it is. We can't control the market. So with that being said, that's all I've got for you guys today. Like, subscribe, and make sure you comment for the algorithms below. And send this out on the airwaves for all your friends and family to see. Make sure this is getting out to everybody. Meta is the next big thing. I'm telling you right now. They're going to be everywhere, covering the freaking world with that awesome film. We're going to be invisible to the rest of the universe. Aliens won't even know where we're at. Peace.